Why do women experience pain differently? Imagine two people touching the same hot stove. The burn is identical, the nerves are identical, the injury is identical. Yet one person may feel more pain, recover differently, and even respond to painkillers in a completely different way. For decades, scientists assumed pain worked the same in everyone. They were wrong. The truth is that men and women don't just react differently to pain. In many cases, their bodies process it through entirely different biological pathways. And understanding why could change everything, from medicine to surgery to the treatment of chronic illness.
The biggest myth about pain. Most people think pain is simple. Something hurts, the brain receives the signal, you feel pain. But pain isn't actually created by the injury. It's created by the brain. Think about it. A soldier can suffer a severe wound in battle and barely notice it. Meanwhile, a tiny paper cut can feel surprisingly painful. The injury isn't the whole story. Pain is the brain's interpretation of danger. And that interpretation can be influenced by hormones, genetics, immune cells, emotions, memories, and even expectations. Which means two people can experience the exact same injury very differently. This is where the story begins.
Women often feel pain more intensely. Numerous studies have found that women generally have lower pain thresholds. A pain threshold is the point where a sensation first becomes painful. Imagine slowly turning up the heat on a surface. One person may begin feeling pain earlier than another. Research suggests women often reach that point sooner. But here's the twist. This doesn't necessarily mean women are weaker. In fact, women frequently endure certain painful conditions for much longer periods. The difference isn't about toughness. It's about how pain signals are processed. Scientists have discovered that hormones can dramatically alter the body's pain systems, and one hormone stands out above all others.
Estrogen. The hormone that changes everything. Estrogen is often associated with reproduction, but it also interacts directly with the nervous system. Pain receptors throughout the body can become more or less sensitive depending on hormone levels. And hormone levels don't stay constant. They fluctuate throughout life, throughout the menstrual cycle, during pregnancy, and during menopause. This means a person's sensitivity to pain can actually change over time. One thing that makes studying pain in women particularly complicated is that pain isn't always a rare event. For many women, painful experiences aren't occasional, they're recurring. Menstrual cramps, migraines linked to hormonal changes, pregnancy, childbirth, and conditions like endometriosis can introduce pain into daily life in ways many men will never personally experience. That doesn't mean every woman suffers constantly, or that men don't experience severe pain of their own. But it does mean that for millions of women, pain isn't just something that happens after an accident. It's something their bodies may ask them to manage repeatedly throughout life.
Researchers have observed that some women experience migraines, joint pain, and other conditions differently, depending on hormonal changes. The same person, the same body, different pain experience, all because of chemical signals affecting the nervous system. But hormones aren't the only factor. There's another player hiding in the background: the immune system.
The discovery that shocked scientists. For years, scientists assumed pain pathways were basically identical between men and women. Then researchers made a surprising discovery. Certain immune cells involved in pain processing appeared to behave differently in males and females.
In some experiments, blocking a specific pain pathway worked in male animals, but not in females. The females were using a different biological route. Imagine two roads leading to the same destination. Block one road, traffic simply takes the other. This discovery suggested that men and women may sometimes arrive at the same feeling of pain through different mechanisms. And if that's true, it raises an uncomfortable question. What if medicines developed using mostly male subjects don't always work equally well for women? For decades, this was a major blind spot in medical research.
The medical consequences. Historically, women were underrepresented in many clinical studies. Researchers often viewed male subjects as the simpler option. As a result, much of modern medicine was built around data that didn't fully account for biological differences. Today, scientists are working to correct that, because understanding sex-based differences in pain could lead to better treatments, more effective medications, and improved care for millions of people suffering from chronic pain conditions. Conditions like migraines, fibromyalgia, and endometriosis disproportionately affect women, yet many of them remain poorly understood.
Pain isn't just a signal from an injury. It's a conversation between the brain, the immune system, hormones, genetics, and experience. And one of the biggest lessons modern science has learned is that the human body isn't a one-size-fits-all machine. Men and women share far more similarities than differences, but when it comes to pain, those differences can matter. Perhaps the most remarkable part isn't that women experience pain differently. It's that despite the recurring physical demands placed on the body throughout life, most women continue treating those experiences as completely normal. What medicine sees as a complex biological challenge is often just another Tuesday for millions of people. The challenge now isn't proving they exist, it's learning how to use that knowledge to create better medicine for everyone.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye. Quite simple.